Third game in a row that Chelsea have lifted silverware, and we won't delve into the nitty-gritty, the pedantics, the ins and outs of whether or not it's a legitimate trophy. The fact of the matter is Chelsea have lifted yet another trophy. 3 in 3 games. It's been quite the summer, but now it's time to get down to business. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do a watch along because I was finishing up recording my new podcast. It's Pod O'Clock. Here is a segment from this episode. And just kind of prove to everyone that just has seemingly forgotten what Chelsea are about and Chelsea were and Chelsea are realistically, because even in our worst years, we've still won silverware, which is more than Arsenal can say. This incredible Arsenal side, world beaters of absolutely nothing, might I add. That episode in its entirety will be available to you on YouTube and on Spotify. It's Pod O'Clock, Monday morning, tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning. I appreciate the time's going to be a little bit weird, but please do check it out. I really do. Just trust me, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Special guests, FPL, all sorts. Premier League predictions in this episode, Chelsea predictions, and so on and so forth. But anyway, back to this game, and Liam Delap will be the happiest man on that pitch, mainly because the penalty, albeit a fantastic one, I think he would have been rather frustrated if that was all he came away with. Better than nothing. But I do think he would have been far happier had he come away with the goal in the way that he did than, of course, just the penalty and being seen as like, well, you never know. You don't really know what you're going to get. Here we saw a really good finish from Liam Delap. And like I say, I think he'll be very, very happy with it. At the moment, they're currently interviewing JOAO PEDRO. 5 goals in, I think they said 5 appearances. I think it's 5 goals in 4 appearances. I'm fairly sure it might be 5 in 5. It's still 5 goals nevertheless. And we are getting goals galore from JOAO PEDRO himself. Liam Delap with a brace today, an own goal. And I can't remember who scored the other one. Let me check. You can tell that I did not watch the game completely, but I feel like I should remember. It was Delap 2. Oh, of course. Delap 2, JOAO PEDRO 1, and an own goal. I was right. I'm not going crazy. Just realised I'm not in blue. Overall, from what I did see, which I did have the game on the entire time. Defensively, we looked great. The goal that we conceded was a goal that it was the first goal that Fofana had scored in nearly a year for AC Milan. Near post, avoidable, but then you think back a few minutes before, then they were through one-on-one. I think even an open goal. And we tracked back so well as to actually close it down, get it cleared, which is something that I can't say too often that we've done in the past. But looking to the future, I mean, Crystal Palace, as we speak, it is 2-2 in that game. It's gone to extra time, I believe. I'll get that on. And, I mean, keeping an eye on Crystal Palace, this alone is a sign that we need to be ready. We need to be on the ball. We need to be all guns blazing going into that game because, I mean, this is their last game. I believe it is. Surely it is. This is their last game. Will they have Eze? Who knows? Who knows in that regard? But all we can take from this game and the game against Bayer Leverkusen and the game against PSG and the game against, all the way back through the summer, back until Real Betis, is that in this summer window, not only have we seen progression from the players on the pitch, we've seen progression from the signings, we've seen progression from the actual departures and arrivals is what I'm trying to get at. We not even just on the pitch, we've seen some really good improvement all around from everyone, not just the players but the staff as well. There seems to be a real involvement, and it's hard to not get a little overzealous, a little a little too cocky, a little bit too confident. And if you do check out, which I please do check out the podcast. You'll see my predictions, and then my prediction for Chelsea finishing where I think they will is indicative of the sort of performances we put in so far this pre-season. And I know people will say it's only pre-season, Harry, calm down. If it all goes tits up, don't be surprised. But my argument to you is I genuinely see improvement here that is not typical of a pre-season. We're doing things. We're dismantling teams. We're putting goals in the back of the net that we wouldn't typically put in the back of the net in pre-season. Like sometimes we get some good goals. Like you think of that Pedro one with the little flick and all that sort of stuff. That's one thing. But in the era of uncertainty that Chelsea have provided us with over the last few years, where it has been like, I don't know what kind of team we're going to get. Although that is the case with Chelsea this coming season, we don't know what Chelsea we're going to get. I just think the sky's the limit for these players. It really is. There seems to be a level of chemistry, camaraderie, togetherness that we haven't completely seen from these players in the past. You think back to Jackson and Madueke fighting over the penalty in the past, and just squabbles and little arguments and just little things here and there. It doesn't seem as though, from what we've seen so far, that there is any cause for concern other than maybe goalkeeper, maybe defensively. But in attacking, it looks as though it's just a well-oiled machine. No doubt Esteval would have probably had a goal today if Gittins wasn't greedy. But then again, it's pre-season. Esteval was greedy as fuck in that first game against Bayer Leverkusen. So you really can't criticize too much, but you can also praise too much. I would say there's plenty to praise. There really is a lot to praise. So many goals we've seen. I would say that we don't have a new signing that doesn't look good. There doesn't seem to be. And I would argue, unnecessarily as well, I would argue that Liam Delap may have been the player that people are like a little uncertain with. But that finish, I tell you what, that finish from Liam Delap today was something that is not something we see often from number 9s at Chelsea over the last few years. Jackson, of course, has put some really nice goals away, but you know, it's a breath of fresh air, but it's also almost like a sigh of relief. Almost. We still have to, get into the Premier, start the season. This is going to penalties, so who knows? We might be playing against the Community Shield champions come match week 1. Again, match week 0 is the podcast I've just recorded. Spotify, YouTube. It will be released Monday morning, bright and early for you to listen to on your commute, at the gym, wherever you might want to do so. We're going to have special guests, FPL, and much more throughout the whole season. Every single Monday between now and the end of the season. We'll see what happens in the summer if I'm still doing it. I probably will. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fucking good episode, a really good time. And you think when we get special guests, I've got one in the pipeline. And it's an in-person one as well. We're going to be sat here, me and me mate. Not me mate. It's someone who you guys know very well. So time will tell. Please do check it out. I really would appreciate it. Please do also like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel, of which there's plenty to come. My name is Harry. Up Chelsea. Peace.